Welcome to Dragonfly Trading. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday. My name is Carrie. I am a full-time Elliott Wave trader. I am a professional trader in the New Wave Traders Discord. If you are interested in taking your Elliott Wave knowledge to the next level, we have a trial offer. You can find the link in the description below. I joined that Discord probably 3 years ago, and I've never looked back. It's a wonderful Discord. So think about that. And today's video is going to be a quick one. I plan on taking my daughter on a mom and daughter day, so this is not going to be a long video by any means. So we're going to start out on Bitcoin. I'm going to start out on the high time frame. Last video I talked about, now remember, there's always a bull and a bear scenario, and I try to not be one-sided in any direction. So when we think about Bitcoin going to these extremely high numbers, I totally think that is absolutely possible, but I always look at how can we get there and what are the different avenues, and there's always a bull and a bear scenario. So last video I talked about this being a wave 1 of primary degree, a wave 2. Now wave 3 is always the longest wave, and that is what makes me feel that this is a wave 3, this is a wave 4 that could be here or here, that I'm not too quite sure about yet, but we'll just say it's here. And we're completing a wave 5 to the upside. Now, is it done? No, it doesn't have to be done, but I feel that it may be close to being done. Now, when that's done, what this will actually be is a completed 5-wave cycle, and I feel that the top up here will possibly be a higher degree wave 3, which means we would need a wave 4. And then we would, so basically, we would need a wave 4 of some type of correction. Now, a wave 4 likes to come in to the prior wave 4. And as you can see here, this has got extremely a big order block here and extremely a lot of support. So I think if we were to come down for another wave 4, it would actually probably come into the top of this, like somewhere in that area. I don't think we would come down deep into this area by any means. There's too much support here. And then at that point is when we would go up for this massive 5th wave to the upside that gets us up into those high numbers up there. That just seems more logical to me. This is just something that I'm looking at basically and keeping an open bias to this. It looks symmetrical and it looks logical from an Elliott Wave basis. Are we done here? No, we don't have to be done. We can definitely get a 5th that goes much higher here. So by any means, I'm not saying we're done. I'm just saying that I feel that this looks really like a 5-wave cycle. This is the longest wave, and I'm keeping this option on the table. That's all. So let's talk about this from a weekly standpoint. We did a really nice job of pivoting here. I think that if we don't roll over again, we front ran the 21 MA on purpose. I think that there was a lot of orders sitting there waiting, and now they're having to chase. So will we roll over? I'm going to show you what needs to happen for a rollover to happen. But we're going to close a nice weekly candle here. And we actually closed a nice monthly candle on the 30th. Well, it's a indecision bar, basically, is what it is. There's no bearishness to it. There's no bullishness to it. It's just a basic neutral candle. Okay, so like I say in all my videos, if we happen to tick back over here, we want to hold the 50, the blue line, just like we did in the prior bull run. So the basic idea is we push up into the high 90s, 80s, we come back down, we hold the 50. We push up, we come back down, we hold the 50. That is a nice, healthy bull run. We've done a nice job of pivoting here. If we pivot, we're just going to continue to the other side. But there is a chance we could roll over and hit the 50 here, and we'll talk about that. I'm going to go over to my other chart. Put my mess on there. Last video, I believe I talked about this correction. What is that? Sorry about that. Okay, that was actually a key finder. My cousin had lost her keys. I'm sorry for that interruption. Okay, so we talked about this being the top of a fifth, which is actually, or no, I moved the fifth over here. That's what I did. I moved the fifth over here. I feel that this was a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. That's what I changed it to. I feel that we have made a leg here, okay? This can be the end of the fourth, 100%. So this would be another subdegree fourth, and we're going to the upside because this is the top of a higher degree third here. And we're looking for the 4 that matches this 3, okay? And we have this push to the upside. Let's talk about this push, okay? Let's go down to a lower time frame. So if this holds, this is absolutely would be the bottom of the fourth, right here. That's what we do not want to break if we want this fourth to be in. This box right here is a gap we have open. That's what the box is. I'm going to get rid of some of this stuff, clean this up. Let's see, just take this off. There. Okay, so we made a 5 wave to the upside. We had a correction, and then we've made another 5 wave to the upside. What we're actually looking for here, and this is the bullish option, is that this is a wave 1, this is a wave 2, we're going up for a wave 3, 4, and a 5, and we're on our way. What we think is in between here, and is still not been invalidated, is that this is the wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the inside of this third. So what needs to happen here for this to be true for the bullish option is that we 100% cannot break this red line. We cannot break the bottom of this wave 1. If we come down and break the bottom, this option of being 1, 2, 1, 2 is totally off the table. What I'd like to see is that we hold this yellow line. Holding the yellow line gives more support to the idea of this being a 1-2-1-2. This is a sneak peek into some of the strategies that we do inside the Discord. So if we come down and we break into this area and we break this red line, that will lead us into the bear scenario. The bear scenario is that what has happened here is that we've created an A and a B and a C to the upside. And we just didn't finish the gap. And we also, and I'm going to throw this in there, could come up and do another hit to the high. Well, actually, that's not true. I'm sorry. Right now, we're in between the 618 and the 1-to-1. We've bonked our heads on the 618, which makes this a truncated C wave. Can we go higher and make a higher degree C? Yes, we can. But if this finds support like I want and kicks to the upside, I'm going to play this like the bullish option. Am I going to pay close attention to what this does as it moves up? Yes. And I also talked about this in my prior video. But we do have the ABC or the 1-2-1-2 scenario on the table here. And the whole game changer is what happens here. Whether we come down and we break this red line, what happens here? So let's talk about what it is on the bear side if we don't get the bullish option. Because the bullish option, the 4 is done and it just takes us on up out of here. The bearish option is that we're creating an ABC, and we'll put the C here. And then what we've actually done here is we've created either an A wave or a W. This ends up being an X or a B. And then what comes after it, whether we get a 3 wave to the downside, would make it a Y. If we get a 5 wave to the downside, would make it a C. That's just the difference in the labeling. So basically, this 4 then would be over here. So it wouldn't be the end of it here. It would just be the end of it over here. And maybe if this scenario plays out, we do end up hitting the 21 on the weekly time frame. And either wick throughing it and we get a quick buy up, or we tap it. Over here, as you can see, we wick through and then we had this quick buy up, creating a hammer candle, which led to the continuation. And every time we tapped it, we continued on. We front ran it here, which doesn't surprise me, like I said. And there's no guarantee we're going to roll over and even touch it. If the bull scenario plays out, of this being a 1, well, all that stuff came back, a 2, 3, all the way up to the 1.618. That has to touch the 1.618. Then we're up and out of here. This is what needs to happen for the bull scenario. And then the bear scenario I went over. All right, let's move on to ETH. ETH has been difficult, very difficult. I won't deny that by any means. If I had to look at this on a higher time frame, this is definitely a completed 5-wave cycle. Which can be looked at so many ways. We could look at this as a wave 1, and this is a wave 2, and we're going to the absolute atmosphere for a gigantic wave 3, which I couldn't even draw that on here, how high that's going to go. Or we could look at this as this is a 5-wave cycle in the top of the 3rd, because this is the longest wave, and I probably don't have all the data here. This is a 4th, and we're making a 5th to the upside. And then this is a top of a higher degree 3rd, like I talked about in Bitcoin. And then we come back down into the prior degree 4th, find support right on top of here. I don't think that we will come down into that big support by any means, and then we blast off for a gigantic 5th. So there's many ways to look at this. And that's where we get into our massive numbers. So there's always a bull and a bear scenario. But even the bear scenario is not bear. I mean, even if we were to come back down into some lower numbers here, we know for sure that we're going to the atmosphere after that, especially when we find support on top of this. So yes, I mean, it wouldn't be the most wonderful thing in the world if it happened. But it would. I mean, I think about it in many ways. I mean, what a massive buy. It would just be incredible. I don't think cryptocurrency is going anywhere. I think it's just going to get more and more adopted and used more and more. And if it were to come down like that, I don't think it would be the end of the world. I sure would make a massive buy there. But like I said, there's many ways to look at it. You could look at it as a 1 and a 2, and we're going to the atmosphere now, or that we might come down again for another 4 that comes into the prior 4, and then we go. So let's talk about what's going on here. We have yet to touch the 21 on the weekly here yet. On a weekly time frame, we have yet to touch the bottom of the band again, or yet to touch the 50. Now we do have this bearish divergence happening here. As you can see, we're going upwards, and this has got this bearish divergence. So when this weekly candle closes, that's, going to be there. But until this pivots, we can't really go on this, because this can just keep on going and push this up, and that just takes that out. Okay? But it is there on the daily. As you can see, we're sloping upwards, and this has a downward slope. It's there on the 12-hour. It's on every time frame. It's there on the 8-hour. So we need to pay attention to that. Now, ETH has been a very difficult count. Very difficult. I can't say that I know 100% what this count is. But I do know a few things. I know that this is a 3, and this is a 4, and this is a 5. And then that would mean that this is the top of a 3rd. Okay? Where it gets sketchy is in this area. And what exactly happened here and what's happening here. Before this happened to the upside, I thought that I had the countdown pat and that this was going to be an ending diagonal, that the fourth was in here, and that we were ending on a fifth diagonal. But that went out the window when this kept going. So I had to reevaluate. And that's what we do. We just reevaluate. So I am thinking now, and whether this is correct or it's not correct, I cannot say for sure, but this is definitely could be a correction in here. That is this fourth that we're looking for. So what would we be looking for now would be a fifth to this degree, which can lead to a higher degree third. So every time you go up with thirds and fourths and fifths, you can definitely have a higher degree third. So this one we'll put in a square. Okay? So I've messed with this and messed with this and messed with this, and it just, honestly, it's not clear. So now what I'm thinking, and I know I've changed this several times, but it's just been difficult. So I'm thinking that this might have been the fourth. This is a three-wave upside for a 1. We have a flat in the middle for a 2, which is another three-wave. What would need to happen here for this to play out, and if I'm correct, because we do have bearish divergence, which leads me to believe we're going to have a correction. So we could make another zigzag in here, which would give a three-wave, which would give the third. Then we would need a three-wave for the fourth and a three-wave for the fifth. And then we would be ending on a diagonal for this fifth. What has me leaning so much towards diagonal is because of all these threes. We've got 3, 3, 3, 3, and then we have this impulsive move to the upside. On an Elliott Wave basis, it doesn't make much sense other than this, maybe this option I have here is that this is going to be an A, we're going to get a correction, and then we're going to go up again, and this is the ending diagonal. Could I be incorrect? Sure. Yeah. Eventually, what will happen is it'll clear up. It'll clear up, and I'll have that, oh, there it is moment. But right now, I'm still, not exactly 100% sure what's going on here. Now, am I going to jump in here and think that this is mooning way to the upside? I'm not leaning that way. Not with the bearish divergence that we have going on. I really feel that a correction is coming soon. And I don't feel comfortable jumping in now. So when I don't know, I just wait. I just wait, let it correct. It'll, if this comes down, gives me bullish divergence, what does that tell me? We're going back to the upside. Then I'll take it to the upside. And eventually this count will clear up and I'll know what it is. Elliott Wave is a tool. It's not a tell-all. It's a very powerful tool, I'll say that. Once I learned Elliott Wave, it was like the big moment of clarity for me. And but there's still other things. There's divergences, there's support and resistance, and I still use all of those things to trade. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that it helped. I hope that it gave you some clarity of what to look for. And I hope everybody has a wonderful Sunday.